Fuck it.
Fuck it. Fuck it.
Hey, mama. If you are a mom and are tired of the wash, rinse, repeat burnout cycle of motherhood, this podcast is for you. If you feel lonely and isolated in your motherhood journey, this podcast is for you. If you feel like you have completely lost your identity since your babies were born, this podcast is for you. If you feel like every other mom has it together except for you, this podcast is for you. My name is Amanda, and I'm a life coach dedicated to teaching every mom the tools she needs to liberate herself off the back burner. I am living proof that a woman can be present and loving to her kids while also being a whole-ass person outside of being that kid's mom. The secret? Learning when to say fuck it. Hey, everyone. I am coming to you haggard and tired today, but I am here to share this, what I consider like a sacred space with you. I love my podcast so much, so I don't mind showing up, even though I'm haggard and tired and I just want to curl up in my bed with a book. I absolutely love this space. And I think this is going to be episode 30. Which is pretty exciting. That's a lot of episodes, like I've shown up 30 times. I know that I haven't shown up consistently always with the podcast, but I have actually been pretty consistent. There was just that period of time where I just kind of took a break from my business as a whole, like marketing it, because of my kids being sick and my daughter having surgery. But I'm really proud of myself because this podcast was such, I don't know if you just heard my dog and all of his shaking like nonsense, but he was just so loud. I actually just got home. I was running errands for like 5 hours today. And I horribly underestimated like how long it was actually going to take me. And I find that I do this to myself all the time. And I was so relieved when I found out that it's not just an Amanda problem. It's not something wrong with me that I do this. It's just a human brain thing, right? We usually like highly overestimate the amount of things that we can get done in a short amount of time. And we highly underestimate how much we can accomplish over a longer period of time. And I think that's also compounded now in our culture of just instant gratification. There's the phrase. In our culture of instant gratification, we're so used to instant results. If we are wondering about something, we can whip Google out. If we want food, we can get in our car and probably drive about 5 minutes and go through the drive-thru and have food within another 10 minutes. If we need something, almost anything, we can just get it on Amazon and usually get it next day, 2-day shipping, even here in Wisconsin, even here where I live in Wisconsin. And I don't live in like I'm not in like Madison. I'm in my town here in Wisconsin that I actually live in is so small that we do not have a grocery store and I get 2-day Prime delivery. Like, what is this world that we live in? It's actually insane. And we're so fucking spoiled, right? We're just so spoiled with, if I want it, then I should be able to get it pretty quickly. And so when there's things in life that don't come quickly, like a successful business, for instance, a successful startup business, it does not happen overnight. And usually the stories that the general public considers to be like a overnight success, it's never an overnight success. They are just focusing on the last bit of that story. They're not focusing on that whole hero's journey. Getting a little sidetracked, but not like immensely sidetracked. But yeah, I was like getting ready not really getting ready for this. This is what I've been wearing all day. I put my groceries away and then I was looking at myself in the bathroom mirror and I was contemplating my greasy hair and my face that has no makeup on it. And I was just like, I don't want to do my hair and makeup. And sorry, there was a gnat. Side note, I'm really looking forward to winter when all the bugs die. I'm pretty sure I say this like every episode now at this point, but I can't with these bugs. Like, I'm done with the gnats, the flies, the fucking mosquitoes, the wasps. We've got, I think I've got like a yellow jacket nest somewhere in my yard because the wasps have been so bad. But since it's a ground nest, I can't find it. So I'm just waiting for the ground to freeze. And to those of you who live in warmer climates and who have never experienced like living in a climate that changes, like here in Wisconsin, where you get winter, that is one of the reasons, but that is one of the many reasons why I actually really love winter, because all the bugs die. I get a break, get a reprieve from that shit. I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, right. My appearance. And I've gotten really good about, I've always not cared about wearing makeup. That happened for me my first year of college, actually. And in high school, I didn't really wear very much makeup to begin with, but I got so busy in college and keeping up with classes, and I was so tired. I was like, I don't give a shit anymore. I just don't. But women in professional settings were told that like we have to look a certain way in order to be considered professional. We have to style our hair a certain way in order to look professional. And if your hair is curly or if it's naturally frizzy, you need to make it look like it's not frizzy or it's not, untamed. And you have to wear a certain amount of makeup so that way you are aesthetically pleasing in order to be professional. And I'm very, very, very aware of that social conditioning. And so I catch myself. It doesn't mean that just because I'm aware of it and just because I've done work on myself to reprogram my brain in those aspects does not mean that those thoughts don't still surface. So I was getting myself in the mindset to come on here and do this podcast for you guys. And my first instinct was to go look in the mirror to see how I looked, because I do have a video aspect of this podcast. For those of you who just listen to the audio, there is a video portion. And so I'm not immune to that. It's just that I caught it and I was like, oh, wait, no, we don't take this road anymore. Just like when you get a new job or like if your office moves locations and your brain will be on autopilot and you find yourself driving to the old location. Your brain does that with thoughts too. So you can work on changing your brain, like literally rewiring, literally like scientific shit, like making new neural pathways in your brain. But you're still going to occasionally find yourself going on autopilot. And when you're on autopilot, your brain is going to take the neural pathway that it's always taken. And so when you find yourself on that old road, it's easy for the knee-jerk reaction to be frustrated with ourselves, because we think about how far we've come and we consider being on the old road as taking a step back. But it's not at all. It's just in that moment, we were on autopilot. We weren't consciously like thinking on purpose, and it's not a problem. So if you are in the middle of trying to change some thought patterns and habits and you find yourself on that old road, give yourself grace. It's not a problem that you're there. You just need to redirect your brain to the new road, the new neural pathway. You just say, oh, no, we don't take this road anymore. We need to go over here now. And that's all. So anyways, I just wanted to show up as my true authentic self. And it doesn't make me any less professional to show up natural than it does if I am all glammed up and dolled up and stuff. And I do enjoy doing that from time to time. And that's why you guys see me glammed up and, my hair is all curled and cute and I have makeup on. usually like a fun lipstick because that's just my jam, but it wasn't my jam today. And that's okay. And it doesn't take away the validity of my position as a life coach just because I didn't feel like putting makeup on. I am just as professional right now sitting in my overalls and flannel as I am. I don't remember what I was wearing last week, but the other weeks where I have a nice blouse on, my hair is done, and I've got a fun lipstick on, right? Because the thing that validates me is my brain, not my appearance. And I want to give you that reminder too. The thing that validates you, the thing that says, yep, I have earned this position at this job, at this company. It's not how you look. It's your brain. That's what validates you. And I think we, as a whole, women, should redefine what a professional look is for women. Because if we're being honest, the previous memo that we've all been living by, that's designed by men. That's designed by men, allowing us into the workspace, but, got to look the part. And I think it's time we say fuck it to that. Don't you? I've been feeling kind of like low energy today. I went really hard on taking action in my business this week, and I'm just tired today. But my initial reaction whenever I'm feeling anything less than happy is to question it and ask myself, oh, what's wrong? Because that's what we always ask, right? If someone is anything less than happy, our question is, what's wrong? Because something must be wrong if you're not happy. But why do we need to be happy all the time? Is that really the goal of life? To be happy all the time? No, it's not. We're humans, and we're going to have, I very strongly believe that the human experience is 50-50. It's going to be 50% positive emotions and 50% negative emotions. And if we find ourselves having negative emotions or even just like neutral emotions, because today I feel like I'm not experiencing negative emotions. I'm not cranky. I'm not sad. I'm not frustrated. I'm not scared. I'm not any of those things. I'm just low energy. That's all. I'm just sort of neutral today. And I just feel like it's so important to have these conversations as women, especially, where we just talk about like, hey, today I'm less than happy. I'm just neutral, or I'm sad. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. Because our socialization as women is that we have to be happy all the time. We're supposed to be happy all the time. And if we're not, then something's wrong. Probably we're on our period, right? All those hormones, just women and all their emotions. And we're told that we should like control that, put a lid on it. But that's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. And I think the more that we can just we could just live in the authenticity of today, the calmer we'll be. Suffering happens when we're resisting our reality. And I think I touched on that last week or in the week before. I touched on it recently, how suffering really only happens when we're resisting our reality. My reality today is that I'm low energy. I'm just kind of like today, it's been overcast all day and it's going to rain very soon here. It's just kind of one of those moody fall days. And that's just like my vibe today. Just like kind of this low key, moody fall attitude. And there's nothing wrong with that. And when we treat it like there's something wrong, then we're telling our brain we need to fix it. Okay. I have no idea exactly why I'm feeling low energy and a little bit a little bit neutral today. I don't know. And I stopped my mental investigation pretty quickly because it doesn't matter. I don't need to find the source because I don't see my low energy mood today as a problem. Because it's not. It's not a problem. This is just the vibe today. And that's okay. I don't need to fix it. If you're cranky or if you're irritable, if you're feeling sad, you don't necessarily need to find the source. Try just experiencing it. Try just allowing it. Take it along like something you got to put in your purse. And, it makes your purse a little bit heavier. So is it annoying to carry it around? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Is it the end of the world? No, it's not. There's 50 other things in your purse that don't need to be in there because you haven't cleaned it out in a while, right? And if you can just do that with your negative emotions, it drastically improves your experience of them. And they suddenly aren't like a boogeyman, something to be dreaded and avoided at all costs. It's not that big of a deal anymore. I think a lot of the spiraling that happens to us when we're experiencing negative emotions actually comes from our resistance and avoidance of the emotion. Just think about it. You're feeling stressed, or you're feeling anger, or you're feeling scared or sad, or any other of the minutia of negative emotions. And then you think about, what is my problem today? Like, why can't I just snap out of this? I don't even know where this came from. There's no reason for it. And I just want it to go away so that I can focus on my work and I'll stop snapping at my kids. And I just don't feel like myself and I hate it so much. And then you start to spiral because the negative emotion doesn't go away because you're not actually processing it. You're just trying to put a lid on it and float it down the river. Like, get the fuck away from me now. And then you start spiraling because you're not allowing it at all. And it just kind of it's almost like a tea kettle. And the tea kettle wasn't on a hot burner. But once you started resisting it, now you've turned the stove on. And it's only a matter of time before that shit boils over. Just leave the tea kettle alone. It's just going to be on your stove today. You don't need to turn the burner on. You don't need to ask, where did it come from? Just let it sit there. It won't hurt you. I promise. And you'll find as you practice this, because you won't be able to do it right away. Okay. We have habits that we've already formed for me, 35 years, however old you are. And these neural pathways in our brain, they're like riverbeds. And each time our brain uses it, that riverbed gets deeper and deeper. It's more ingrained. Okay. So just because you can logically in your frontal lobe say, yes, Amanda, this makes sense. I'm going to do this the next time I'm experiencing a negative emotion. That doesn't mean that you're actually going to be very good at it, that you're going to succeed, that you're going to remember to do it every single time. That is also not a problem. That's just a part of the learning process. Grace. You have to give yourself an abundance of grace when you're working on yourself. Just in general, please give yourself an abundant amount of grace. If you've been listening to this podcast for all 30 episodes, first of all, thank you so much. But if the only thing that I am able to teach you is just how to give yourself an abundant amount of grace every single day, that is a job fucking well done. Because women have a really, really hard time doing that. We extend grace to everybody else except ourselves. But the best part about learning how to feel my negative emotions is my kids get to see me do this. They get to see me do this. They always get the authentic version of me. There's this idea that has been passed on for God knows how many generations, maybe since the fucking beginning of time. Like be strong for the kids, that whole thing, where something in life is really hard and you're experiencing negative emotions about it. And the prevalent idea is, in order to be strong for your kids, you have to hide that negative emotion from them. Don't do that. Because all you're teaching your kids is to hide their negative emotions and to cope by not coping. Let your kids see you struggle. Let them see you fail. Let them see you get angry. Let them see you be sad and devastated and sobbing on the floor. And then let them see you get back up. Let them see you process that, work through it, not allow your emotions to define you, not allow your thoughts to define you, not allow the world to define you. Let your kids see that, because that is true strength. Strength is not avoiding your negative emotions. Strength is not never being scared or never being sad or never crying. Strength is going through it, going through the depths of hell and making it out the other end. That is what true strength is, and that is what your kids need to see. And that's really all I came here to say. Experience all of your feelings, the good ones and the bad ones. And let's just, I don't know. Yeah, they feel shitty. I was going to say, let's not even call them bad, but they are. They feel shitty in your body. And another way that you can help yourself, like, sit with a negative sensation in your body and not spiral and freak out and resist it and try to get rid of it as fast as possible, is describe the emotion in physical sensations only. So instead of, if you're sad, instead of saying, it's just staying in all of your feelings, like, I just feel so defeated. I feel so heavy. I feel so hopeless, all of those things. Those are just more emotions. Okay. Talk about it in physical sensations in your body. I've shared this story before, but I will share it again. I got hit with a wave of grief one night when I was driving on the freeway at nighttime. And nighttime out here is a little scary because there are no street lights anywhere and there's deer. And you never know when a deer is going to fly in front of your fucking car. And when I say a wave of grief, I mean like heaving, sobbing grief out of nowhere. And there was nowhere for me. I mean, I could have pulled over on the side, but that stresses me out a lot when I have to do that on the freeway, because then cars are just zipping past you. And the closest exit, like the next exit, was 6 miles away, and when it was my exit anyways. But like, that's another thing with the Wisconsin freeways out here. It's not like California where there's an exit every half a mile to a mile. So I essentially was stuck in my car, like physically, logistically stuck, which if I had stuck with that thought of feeling stuck, would have made me spiral, and it would have been even more dangerous. And so I was just like, you have to allow it, Amanda. And I did this exercise on myself, and I started out loud describing the physical sensations that was my grief. And when I did that, it helped get me back into my body and out of my brain, which was obviously spiraling, which helped me to process the emotion. And by the time I was getting off the freeway, I was calming down. I processed it so much faster because I didn't resist it, because I didn't see it as a problem, and because I grounded myself in my body, in my physical body. And when you do that, you realize, okay, this emotion is not going to kill me. I've had migraines worse than this. I've had period cramps that felt way worse than this. So that's a really good exercise to help you feel comfortable in allowing the negative emotion, because this is all new, right? We've never been taught to do this. We've always been taught to think of it as a problem and push it away as quickly as possible, either with numbing or distraction or just straight up bottling it up. It helps to boil it down to physical sensations in your body. I promise. Try it. And that's a really easy tool that you can teach your kids too. Once you learn how to do it and once you experience how much it helps, that's something so easy to teach your kids. And it really helps them process their emotions too. I hope you guys have a fabulous week. We're in the last week of September. I don't know how this fucking happened. But once again, I'm so excited for October. October is my favorite month of the entire year. And we've already got some colors on the trees, and I'm just like loving every single moment. And I hope you are too. I'll see you next week, Mama. Are you living your one wild life to the fullest? You're not? Why the fuck not? What are you waiting for? The time to live is now, Mama. Do not wait until your youngest is in college. Let your dreams hire me for an hour so I can explain how I can help you achieve any goal in your life. You've put yourself off long enough. It's time to pour into you. The link to schedule your 60-minute complimentary consultation is in my show notes. Join the community of Fuck It Moms by following me on Instagram and Facebook at Fuck It Mothering. That's fuck without the U. So FCK It Mothering. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you never miss your weekly encouragement. And please rate, review, comment, and share. All of these things help with the algorithms, so that way when other overwhelmed moms are looking for encouragement, they can find me. Every month, I give away one of my favorite books and a Starbucks card to a lucky winner. All you have to do to enter is write a review or tag me in social media when you share an episode. See you next Sunday, gorgeous.